Yo, I spent $150,000 on a barbershop.
150 G's?
150 G's, man, and here's why.
That's what's up, guys. This is 𝗏𝗏𝗥𝗡𝗏, and you have reached the Roughneck's Ecom channel. If you want to learn how to make money online or offline, then you need to be right here. I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller. I'm also an honorably discharged Air Force veteran. Graduated from Penn State and started a career as a software engineer and leveraged that to build my businesses. If you guys have any questions on how to make money, you're gonna find all your answers right here, so stay tuned.
All right, guys, why did I drop $150,000 to get a barbershop during a pandemic, mind you, okay? So big shout out to 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗏. We're bringing 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗏 over here to Philly. But if you guys are not aware of what's happening in the world today, businesses are opening, closing, shutting down, reopening, everything, right? And for me, I didn't want a lot of my income to be so heavily dependent on Amazon. I ended up leaving, my software engineering career to focus on selling on Amazon full time and helping you guys creating content, helping my students, my automation clients, all of that. And right now, most of that money is tied up with Amazon. Okay. As an entrepreneur, you need to diversify, whether that be through real estate or some other means or whatever. And that's exactly what I did. I decided to get a 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗏 franchise and essentially just dump that money into it and just go all in, right? So, like, why? Why would anyone do that? Especially during a pandemic, considering that a barbershop is, local, and it's one of those things where you got to be hands-on as opposed to Amazon drop shipping where I'm hands-off. Mainly because it's something that doesn't go away. Right, that's something that's never going to leave. And considering that Philly is predominantly black, people look like me, and we like getting our haircuts. So with the city being over 50%, people that look like me, and a barbershop being one of those things that is a cash flow business, money in, money out, why not? Even though the pandemic is basically full swing still, it's not going to be like this forever. I'm banking on the long game, guys. I'm banking on this barbershop doing very well because it's already done well with the locations that 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗏 has opened up in Atlanta. They got one in New Orleans, Kansas City. They have all these locations popping up, and for me, it was almost a no-brainer. Where I've seen barbershops do extremely well, and the majority of them out here in Philly that have a certain vibe that cater to a certain clientele do amazing. And why not try it, guys? Like, worst case scenario, I lose $150,000. All right, that's a lot of money to lose, but the opportunity cost is what I was most afraid of, right? The opportunity cost of me not doing this, that $150K sitting there, or me putting into something that isn't going to produce, maybe buying more inventory that doesn't sell, buying $50,000 worth of wholesale inventory, the stuff doesn't move. Now I'm kind of screwed, right? At least with this, it's a physical business that I can reach out and touch that, is a staple in the community. And that's something that you guys, should think about when you're opening businesses and you're thinking of brands and stuff like that. Because for all intents and purposes, I'm one of the most low-key, guys out in Philly that, actually drop ship, do YouTube, whatever, make money. A lot of guys are real flashy, like, yeah, I got diamond teeth and, my cars are pretty flashy. But if I'm just walking around, I'm wearing, my own shirts, I'm wearing some beat up, sweat shorts, the whole nine. And, no one even knows. And that's the way I wanted to keep it. And that's the same thing with, with my business. It's a franchise. I'm not a barber. I don't know how to cut hair, but having a franchise really helps. Okay, it helps you just be the owner, have a turnkey business, make money, and be done. It kind of removes you from that on a day-to-day, where your presence doesn't dictate how much money you're gonna make. Whereas right now, my presence dictates, whether my clients are gonna, come to me, or potential clients are gonna come to me for automation, or whether, students are gonna buy my course. I don't want that. I don't want my money tied to something like that. I want to be able to make money and not be involved, which is why the software that I built out, you guys don't even know who owns it. But some of you guys are using it right now, and you don't even know that I'm the one that wrote it, okay? So that's kind of the feel for me right now. I want to be more behind the scenes with a lot of the things that I do, as opposed to being at the forefront. And I feel that a barbershop, even though I would be the owner, kind of allows me to do that, where the experience isn't tied to me. It's tied to the artist. It's tied to the people that's actually cutting the hair, right? So, that's something that you guys need to think about. And, I'm going to try to give you guys my thought process and breakdown over the course of, the last year or two, thinking about why I did this. Yeah, Philly's getting pretty wild right now, yo. Philly's wild. Guy literally just walked by and was groaning in the video for whatever reason. Who cares? But yeah, man, so let's go ahead. Let's talk about my thoughts and breakdown on how this pans out. All right. This is going to be a tough one to try to explain to you guys. It's going to be difficult for you guys to kind of follow that thought process. Well, some people, but the guys that are on it, guys and gals, you guys, you'll see where I'm coming from, at least hopefully. So, why would anyone spend $150,000 on a franchise, a barbershop franchise, when I could open my own barbershop for a tenth of the price, probably even less than that? All right. So number one is the fact that it's a franchise. They do all the work for you. I don't have to do jack squat. I don't have to come in there and renovate. I don't have to come in there and train people. I don't have to come in and do anything. It's a turnkey business, all right? Which frees up my time to do other things like shoot content and still work on my Amazon businesses and so on. Okay, number two, it's a service that people are always going to use. Okay, especially people that look like me. We love going to the barbershop. It's kind of a cultural thing. It's almost like a rite of passage for a young man to go through, the ranks of the barbershop. You start when you're young, you become the old head in the barbershop, kicking knowledge to the young game and, to the younger generation. And, the cycle repeats itself. All right, so, females know they find a good stylist and they just stick to that stylist for as long as they can. All right, same thing with your barber. Chances are, if you have a barber, you've been in the same area, that barber's cut you since you was a child, since you was still, sipping on breast milk. All right, and it's one of those long-standing pillars in the community. It's where a lot of people go to socialize, to congregate. If you're having problems with your old lady, you go to the barbershop. You're talking to your friends there. You're talking to your barber, other people like, yo, what do I do? It's just kind of a good place to be, for a man especially. And, that's something that I wanted. I wanted a pillar in the community where, I bring that to people, kind of bring people together. Three is the money aspect. It's a cash flow business, money in, money out. You got vending machines in there. You have an ATM in there, charging people fees. People are going to be sitting there for an extended period of time. If anybody's been to a black barbershop, you don't go into a black barbershop and 10 minutes later you cut and done. You're going in there, you're having a conversation, you're talking about how your day went, how your week's been, how your month's been. If you haven't gone in a little while, you're congregating, So now people are going to be, eating. People are going to be, buying, using the ATM. You might have some smell goods there. There's all types of things that go on in a black barbershop. I suggest you guys go out there, find yourselves a black barbershop and partake in what happens, all right? Your eyes will be open, trust me. And we typically spend a lot of money for haircuts and beard trims and stuff because, we can't do like traditional people and get, the straight razor all the time because we bump up and all that. Our hair is too curly and our skin is too baby butt smooth for that, So, we gotta go a roundabout ways, man. We be getting the hot towels, man. We be getting the fades. They be spraying stuff. It's an artwork, all right. It's an art form, I should say, and therefore we spend a little bit more money. We might spend $30, $40, $50 on a cut. You go to Super Clip. What are you getting? Great. What is it? Great Clips, Super Cuts, one of the two, whatever. You go to one of them things, you spend $10, $15 for a haircut, you out. We don't do that. That's not how black barbershops work. So for me, it's a way to produce cash flow, use that money to get into other business ventures, to help my Amazon businesses, to run more ads, create more content, to pay my man behind the camera. You guys don't understand how expensive it is to have a guy follow you around, edit all your content, and you put it out there. You guys are, it's probably a couple $100. Try a few $1,000s to have somebody do that on a routine basis, all right? So you gotta have money coming in. And ultimately I wanted to show my kids that, it's possible to do something. I wanted to be able to leave my kids something. Let's say this franchise does very well. I open up another one in the city, and another one, and another one. And I start leaving these to my kids, after I'm long gone. So they have something that's gonna create cash flow for them. So, that was my thought process. Those are things that I wanted to do. Plus I wanted to do more in the community, guys. Like I wanted to do, backpack giveaways, for kids going back to school. I wanted to do toy drives. If I have a base of location, I can wait, what is it? No. Well, we'll use military terms. A forward operating base, all right? The FOB, right? FOB. If I have one of those, I can go ahead and be out there in the community. I can go ahead and give to people. I can, reach out to people, not just, with my cars and at car meets and stuff like that, but like actual things, turkeys given away at Thanksgiving, man. Like that's what I want. That's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to give back to my community. I want to be able to affect real change, not just, you know, make money and buy cars and stuff, while that's fine and I love doing it, you know, there's also other things I want to do, you know, for my community, for the city that's given me so much, you know, and I don't know, this is my thought process on it. You know, if it works out, awesome. If it don't, hey, might not been one of my better ideas, but I think it's gonna be. So let's talk about why you should be thinking of your next move, you know, as far as business. All right. So guys, you know, when should you start branching out into like physical businesses and all that, if ever? Okay, when you guys are at a certain point and you realize that the majority of your income is coming from one freaking source, that's when you need to start branching out into other things. Now, you don't have to do what I did. You don't have to take all this money in your bank and drop it on a barbershop franchise or whatever, but you guys need to start thinking of different things. You guys need to start looking at other avenues to make money, whether that be going from drop shipping to affiliate marketing, to maybe building a course, to maybe providing some other service, or who the hell knows. But you guys need to get out of this whole, like, I'm just gonna have this one thing and that be it. Because guess what? A lot of us who are at the top, quote unquote, money is heavily dependent on certain things. Like my money is heavily dependent on Amazon, as well as some of my friends. Other people's is heavily dependent on eBay. And guess what? When these changes come about, as they oftentimes do, we have to constantly reinvent our methods and do all this. I, for one, am kind of tired of having to do all of that and hope that shit doesn't grenade as far as, you know, my Amazon businesses go. You know, I want to have something long-standing in different avenues where it's like, you know what? If, you know, shit hits the fan with Amazon, I'm okay, because I still got a barbershop, still have a car shop, I still have rental properties, still have this and this and this and this, a million other things, right? So think about that. Do you want to be a one-trick pony? Because a lot of people in this space are one-trick ponies. And I, for one, ain't trying to be no one-trick pony. I'm trying to be one of them 𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗦s, you know, the ones that be jumping over the things, the barriers, and be, you know, prancing around and all that stuff. That's what I want to be. I don't want to be a one-trick little shepherd pony. Nah, not my thing. So you guys, I mean, if you want to get caught up in that, go right ahead. But I'm telling you from personal experience, it is dangerous to have all your money coming from one source, because guess what? Even though you're an entrepreneur making money like that, you still just one bad month away from being homeless and carless and shacking up with a female that you don't want to shack up with because you ain't got no place to stay. Okay? So with that being said, man, hopefully you guys found this informative. Hopefully you understand my thought process on why I spent that kind of money. And yeah, so be safe, be smart. Check out the links below in the description. Please make sure you subscribe, like this video. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.